Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It is
Hi.
We Be Talking.
Okay.
Hey, how you guys doing today? Good to see you.
Mhm.
So it's just me and Kim today.
Yeah.
Shika's on the road, she's traveling. So she's not gonna be making it back on time. So we're gonna go ahead and go without her. We're gonna miss you. Miss you, Shika.
No,
Wish you
safe
were here.
travels. Yeah.
Safe travels, get home safe. So today we want to talk about a topic that I think is very controversial.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yes. Okay. So before I tell you what the topic is, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, tell
Hmm.
your friends to tell a friend about us,
Yes.
um, and all of that good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So the topic today is, oh my gosh, I'm a little nervous to say it.
Your mama gonna be watching, so
She is. And she gonna be like, what? Anyway, so the topic today is
We be talking, what's the word? Everything you never heard. We be talking, oh, talking.
to spit or to swallow. That is the question.
I can't believe you said that.
Can't
Is
believe
that
I
what we
said that
talking
either.
about?
So Kim, let me ask you,
Oh
do you
Lord.
spit or do you swallow?
Talking
You
about
don't?
what are we talking about?
Okay, so ask me. Ask me.
Okay, Tamara, do you spit or swallow?
So let me tell you,
Hmm.
sometimes I spit, but
Uh-oh.
sometimes you have to swallow.
Oh my. Have to?
Hmm. You have to swallow sometimes. You can't spit all the time. You
Oh,
got to get something.
oh God.
But
Oh,
there are some
okay.
times when there's more to spit than there is to swallow.
You are graphic today, girl.
Are y'all confused yet?
Very much so. Because this is
So,
a
y'all,
Christian show. We believe in the Lord, but
listen, and we talking about the Lord.
come on now.
Listen,
Talk about the Lord.
believers got to spit or swallow. You got to,
Oh.
sometimes you got to spit and sometimes you got to swallow.
Okay, so Tamara, enlighten us. What are we talking about?
What were y'all thinking we were talking about? Y'all need to get y'all minds out the gutter. That's what y'all need to do. What I'm talking about, what we're
Wait. I
talking
know we
about
got people
today,
to the seat like this. Like, what? What she
like
say?
what they talking about? They really up here talking about spitting and swallowing? Y'all don't over
Uh-uh.
there, don't be over there acting like y'all don't be spitting or
That,
swallowing.
that viewer that be giving us a hard time all the time, he about to jump on here and have us. So that's all
He
right.
better
He
come
come
on
on.
with it. I'm ready for him. But anyway, so what I'm referring to when I say spit or swallow is,
Uh-huh.
like when you go to church and oh my God, some people are like, they be in the church doing that?
Yes, they do. I mean,
Yes, we do. Every time you go to church, you gotta either spit or swallow. You gotta pick one. So, anyways,
Tamara,
like
you are.
like when you go to church, right? And the preacher is giving the word,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And you have to, because you know the word for yourself and you have your own relationship with God, you
yeah,
have to decipher whether or not you can accept that word he's given or
yeah,
can you reject it. So when I say spit, I mean reject. And when I say swallow, I mean accept. So if
yeah.
y'all were thinking something else, you need to
Mm-mm-mm.
check yourself and get your minds out the gutter. Okay, because we're talking about the Lord.
I need to wash and
Amen.
renew your mind.
Renew your mind to the word of God.
No,
Amen.
I think this is an interesting topic. It's an interesting way to bring people in because you know, sex is big on the brain in this day and time. Like it's like the norm, and
Yes.
in any kind of way. That's how I thought it was so interesting to bring it in that way because you'll grab the attention, of the people,
Mm-hmm.
the millennials, and they'd be like, "Oh, I want to hear what they got to say about this because if the church say I can do it,
Then guess what? I'm gonna
you
be
know,
doing it. Look,
man,
but you know
whatever
what
you do,
what the Bible does say to be what it say to be harmless
sharp
as
as
a
a
be
serpent.
wise as a serpent,
Uh-huh.
but as
And
harmless as a
harmless.
dove.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So whatever way we got to get y'all in to get this conversation to get some word, that's what we
So
finna
man,
do. Okay.
I gave you props on that one. You did good on that one, ma'am. But like she's saying, sometimes you go to places or you at work and you hear people say stuff about the Bible and it's not bearing witness with your spirit. What you know is to be true.
Right.
Because only your truth is what's going to make you free, what's going to set you free.
Yes.
The word that you know, the truth that you know, that nobody can take that away from you. We got those things that we kind of iffy about, and then we got those that nobody changing my mind on this. This is what it is. So sometimes you sit up on the people, you be around people, they say stuff that you just can't receive, in your spirit.
Exactly.
Even when somebody prophesying to you or telling you what thus said the Lord, I'm just being real. What thus says the Lord, if it's not bearing witness with your spirit, what do?
Right. Or if it's not a confirmation, because it shouldn't, if somebody's going to prophesy to you, it shouldn't be a surprise. It shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, really? It should be confirmation, because they're just telling you or, saying something else that God has already said to you.
Because of the relationship, right?
Because of the relationship. Now, if you don't have a relationship with the Lord, I don't really feel like it's wise for somebody to be prophesying, because you're going to be like, what is you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
They're going to receive everything. They receive everything they say.
Yes. And some people, because you do have people out there that be prophet lying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They be prophet lying through their teeth. Just like some of those through their teeth, girl, just like some of those people that was prophesying, saying that about the election, they were prophesying. God told them that President Trump was going to win another term, and God said this and God said that. And there was only one preacher that I seen that came back and apologized and said, you know what, I'm sorry, I missed it. Yes, only one. And there was a ton of people that was prophesying and was saying different things, but only one guy came back and was like, you know what, I apologize. And I know that this is gonna kind of mess up his witness, and rightfully so, because you said God told you this and you know, or whatever, but at least he came back and apologized. Yes, and said that.
Because most people be like, no, I'm not about to lose my flock. I'm not about to, but God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. So
girl, you better speak that word.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I know I messed it up, I know God ain't lied. So why not come back and apologize? Why not come back and say, I miss it? Because we miss it. We all miss it. We all have missed it at one point or a couple of points, in our life.
Absolutely. So, absolutely. Yeah, because sometimes we could get like overzealous and and say things, and sometimes it's your emotions, and if you're not keen to hearing God's voice, you can sometimes be speaking from your emotion and say, oh well, God said this or whatever. And it's all good. You have to grow in your faith and grow in your relationship with God or whatever. Nobody's like condemning anybody that has done that. But I do have a question, Kim.
Okay.
What is something that you have heard in a sermon that you just had to spit out?
It's so many things. Well, maybe not so in a sermon, but I've received bad news or ear report from a doctor,
yes,
a health issue, right? And I just knew, I'm like, I know what the Lord told me. So, I began to, first of all, you got to know who you are. You got to know what your promise is, may I say, because everybody, when I say know who you are, I mean, know what promises are given to you. And the word tells us that we're already healed, not we're the sick trying to get well. The Bible says Jesus did this for us a long time ago.
Yes.
For our iniquity. He did this a long time ago. So I believe in the word. And so I believe that any sickness or any manner of illness or, whatever try to attack my body, I believe that it's just that, an attack from the enemy. And I don't believe that I'm supposed to receive it and take on this sickness for myself. Like some people take ownership of that thing. They say my asthma. My eczema.
Listen,
my this and my that.
Say that. Like who gave it to you? Why is it yours? That's no wonder why you can't get healed from it. Right.
That's definitely when you should have spit it out, and I know symptoms arise and you have evidence of something being there, but it's your faith that's going to move you to another place to say, I don't care what I see. I don't care what you said, because the Bible says this is what I believe in. And I have had to battle with that. Something like, well, that's what it is. That's what high blood pressure, stuff like that. So I had to get to a place where you never hear me say, I have high blood pressure. I practice, not saying I get it right all the time, but I practice not owning that, not making that a part of me, because that's not who God, called me to be. So what about you? Yeah. Have you ever had to spit some stuff out?
Yeah. Girl, yes.
And like what?
I can't stand, and it's just a matter of me growing in my faith, but before I used to believe stuff like that. When I heard stuff like it made sense.
Yeah.
But now, if it don't make faith, it can make sense all day. But if it don't make faith, then I don't want to hear it. But I've heard a pastor say that he had gotten a sickness and he believed that the Lord caused him to be sick in order to take him to a next level, to the next dimension, or to something, or whatever. And
so the people in the church was the sickness on him. That's what you're saying?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that God put the sickness, God allowed. People love to say, oh, God allowed it. God could stop it, but God allowed this and God allowed that, or whatever. And he pretty much said that God allowed him to be sick. And because he had to learn something. And I'm like, well, why he can't teach you a lesson through why sickness? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he gonna inflict sickness upon you, which he already said that you were healed, like he took on all the sickness and all the sin upon himself so that you don't have to go through it. But then again, here you are talking about he put it on you. Like, is he bipolar? No, I know for sure God is not bipolar.
And then when you say that, the word says that he gave dominion to man in Genesis 1:26. I ain't trying to hit you with, but Genesis 1:26 talked about God giving us dominion, us the authority and power to rule over things that creep on the earth, right? Well, if it's coming against us, it's crept upon the earth, right? We have the ability to allow and to not allow. So we allow things in our life. That's just my belief, my faith on it. We believe,
and I believe that
we allow things. It's not like God allowed us to do it. No, you allowed it because he gave you the dominion, the power, the rulership to reign and over the earth. This is our domain. This is our kingdom. So when things like
that happen,
go ahead.
It's a matter of taking responsibility.
Oh yeah.
Taking responsibility and stop blaming God for everything. Oh, it's God did this. And we just, if we were to believe that way, then we don't got to do nothing. We just got to sit down and let him, use us like a puppet on a string and do whatever. What's the point of doing anything if that's what it is? If we have no say, if we have no part in it, you know what I'm saying?
So that makes us robots, like she was saying.
Yeah,
we'll be robotic. Nobody. I know God didn't create us to be robotic. He gave us a choice to love him. He gave us a choice to live for him. He gave us a choice to accept things and, deny things in our life. He said, bring my word back to my remembrance. Like kids, mama, you said you're going to take me to McDonald's, right?
Right.
Mama, you said you're going to take me to McDonald's. Boy, I said, and they give you what you said to them. That's what God wants us to do. Father, you said I am healed. You said I am whole. I am free. I am sick. And they'd be like, why this going on? There's a lack in our faith somewhere. There's a lack in our promise. Not a lack in our promises. It's a lack in us knowing what the promise is and how to apply it, to our everyday life. It could be something simple as I got a headache or something,
Yeah.
It's simple. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Kim, do you remember that time? I think it was Pastor Lewis that was telling us about this. It was kind of like an illustration, and she was talking about there was this dog that was chained up for a very, very long time. You remember that illustration? His food was just right in the reach of the chain or whatever, or it was right outside of the reach. He couldn't reach it, right? Mm-hmm. So because he was chained up, right? I guess it was just in his mindset that that's as far as he could go. He can go beyond.
He tried to get it a couple of times.
He tried to get it at first.
Yeah.
But he couldn't, and he couldn't go. And then after a while, it just kind of resonated on him that he just can't go beyond that. He just kind of gave up, right? And so when they loosed him and the food was right there, he still starved to death because he didn't believe beyond what the bondage was before. You know what I'm saying? So it's like us as believers, sometimes we are in that predicament because number one, we don't know that we are free.
Right.
So we're still perishing because of lack of knowledge or
and we
whatever.
conditioned to think away, we can.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So, and that's where renewing your mind comes in. You got to renew your mind to the word of God so that you won't fall victim to something that you really had control over, but you didn't know.
Yes. And
You didn't know.
I find this so interesting now because I kind of know that now. I didn't know it, as a child.
Yes.
God forbid, I ain't nothing with my parents because they did what they know how to do. But
Yes.
like you didn't hear a lot of people instilling certain things into their children and molding them in a different way than you do now. You hear a lot of people now like doing what you call it, confessions. They do confessions
Oh, yes.
for their kids. They do
and
different
affirmations.
things and affirmations. Yeah.
Affirmations.
So it's training them to believe who they really are, what they are. So
yeah,
I encourage, parents, young parents, old parents, whatever. It's never too late to start.
Oh,
but
yes.
I encourage you to put that in your kids early, because if they're one now and they hearing every day that you are loved, that you are free,
yes,
they hearing that every day. By the time they 5, they're gonna be like the girl that I sent y'all that picture where the girl was where the girl was praying with her sister. She was like, I believe in you. You can do this. Stop saying you can't. They'll have that in them early. That way, they won't grow up living a defeated life. They won't. It won't be new to them when they get to college that I ain't been sick. I've never been. You know what I mean? It won't be foreign to them. I think it's amazing at the body, how we structure, or the mind, how we structure, how we can work it like a muscle. You work it out
like muscle memory. Muscle memory. Oh, and you know what? When we do that, our kids are going to know when to spit and when to swallow.
Come on now.
They're not going to take in, they're not going to be taking a whole bunch of foolishness and going through some of the stuff that we went through because we didn't know better, or like you said, your parents did as much as they knew how to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's our turn to do as much as we know how to, you know what I'm saying? Because we know a lot more than they know. Absolutely. Not to say that we're better than our parents, we're not, but the as we age in time or whatever, technology. You gain more knowledge, more things begin to be revealed to you, and you do things differently and so on and so forth. Speaking of doing things differently, I'm still whooping my kids. You're still getting a whooping. I don't care what people say. Because some people will say, oh, I know better now. I don't whoop my kids. But the Bible said, do not spoil the rod or spoil the child. And what is it?
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
And what that means is you better whoop their little behinds. Okay? I don't care. I haven't grown past that yet. Let's put it that way. Because some people don't believe in it. Yeah. When I hear that, I spit that right on out. I know I don't.
Now, we're not telling you to abuse your children. That's one thing. When you go too far, or even when you're angry, you can step back. You can step back because anything you're doing out of anger is bound to be over the line, So some kids don't even need to be whooped or beat. They talk to them. I remember my sister, she used to be so sensitive. My mama would raise her, but she crying. Now she had to hit me. She had to hit me.
Well, different kids.
Yeah,
kids.
Yeah,
some kids you need to spank them.
Right. Oh, I right here. I had to get hit. I had to get beat, and now I'm probably one of her favoriteest her children's. Yeah. Thank you, Mama. Nah.
Listen, she did not spare the rod. And
come on now, she didn't. She did not. She did not. Yeah, it definitely pays to if you don't have that affirmation and that that talking to every day that you can do this, you will do this. If you can't have that, at least have the discipline in your life. You know what I mean? One of them got to exist.
Good.
I'm telling you, because me personally, I think I needed both of them actually. But because my self-esteem growing up was really, it wasn't like low self-esteem. It was more of, I didn't know I can do that. Or I didn't know.
Right. You didn't know.
What I mean?
Ignorance.
Yeah, I didn't know. Ignorant. I didn't know the greatness. I didn't know the things that I could tap into, the things that I can do.
Yeah.
Young. Had I known young, I probably wouldn't be in the
girl. Where would we be?
Yeah.
Where would we be if our parents knew how to hone in on those things that God
Yeah.
put in us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where would we be?
Absolutely.
But now that we know that, that's what it's our responsibility to do
Right.
that for our kids, so that they
Right.
don't have to go through life trying to figure out, or, you know,
Yeah.
be lost, don't know what they're created for, what they're cut out for, or whatever.
And you got
But
to just ask the Lord about it, because I asked him about Skylar. Now, I remember sitting and saying, you know, Lord, this girl's showing potential in areas like really, really early.
yes,
I'm like, what is she supposed to
Yes.
be doing? And when I tell you this child mimics dance, she'll pick up a dance, like
I'm
just
about to
looking
say,
at it.
Skylar's a
Right.
dancer.
She look at it and then she just like it gracefully pick it up like at a young age. And the Lord was
Yes.
like, you remember you told me, you know, to show you her early. So now I
Yes.
knew what to cultivate in her, how to
Yeah.
talk to her, how to influence her. Hey, you interested in this dance class? And she always like, yeah, I want to know.
Yes.
I want to, you know.
So you don't have to waste your money putting her
Right.
in everything.
Right.
That, you know, because some people put their kids in some things and you be like, now you know that little child can't do that. That is not what he was created for. You need to do better.
Come on now. We'll do it though. Hey, you gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we sure will.
But we waste time. If we're not tapped into the Holy Spirit. We're not tapped into what our purpose, what our calling is. If we don't know who we are, if we're not pushing that to our generation below us, you know, our children, our nieces and nephews, we're not pushing that to them, we're losing. Because they can grow up to cure cancer, which is probably already, you know, a cure out there for that particular thing. But it's like the things that we're struggling to come up with now, like antidotes and stuff like that, and medicine stuff, these people could already know this. This generation is super, super, super smart. They learning stuff way earlier than we learned.
And they're working smarter, not harder.
Right.
We're like, I feel like some of us, they work really, really hard.
Yep, absolutely.
That doesn't mean that they was always working smart.
That's it. And don't know what to do when you jump in purpose, like I'm supposed to be doing something else. No, you're in purpose.
Yes.
It don't feel like work. It don't feel like, you know, if we're walking in purpose, we're walking in peace, we're walking in prosperity. Financial stuff your stability is gonna get in line because you purposely.
Everything is gonna be. Yes.
Mm-hmm. It comes from you know, being able to know what you can take in, receive, or swallow, and knowing what you can get out. You know, I don't need that in my life. That don't apply to me. And if it don't line up with the word, that's what I'm saying. Because some people say I don't receive it when it's clearly in the word. You know.
If it's in the word, you should be able to receive it. Now, it might be a hard swallow, but you need to drink some water and let that go down. You need to go on and swallow it down. If it's in the word, you need to receive it.
Yeah. So a lot of people say, but if it's in there, if it's lining up with that, then you need to be able to be a big boy, a big girl, and say, okay, this is what it is. And if you're not there yet, you can be like, get me there, Lord, because I'm not there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is. We didn't know that back in the day. Like, oh well, I don't believe it, so I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Do what you want to do and end up.
Yes,
I don't even know where.
In the military. For me, like,
girl,
you're supposed to be doing something. How in the world, you know? Now, you know, hey, I did well while I'm here, and I got 1 year to go. But I could have been doing purpose so early in my life, and I've given 21 now, about to be 22 years. To something that I'm not even really wired to do, if that makes sense.
I feel the same way. Same way. Like I've been in 14 years and I cannot wait till I hit 20 because I'm not doing a day over 20.
When did you know that this ain't for me? This ain't what I'm supposed to do?
I knew from the beginning. Let me tell you something. So I swore in, right? And we got on that plane. And when we got off the bus to boot camp, and that lady came over in her uniform and was yelling and spit in my face, I knew then that this was not for me.
Exactly.
And from that day to this day, I've been saying I'm getting out, and I'm gonna get out one day.
You're too close to the end now. You might as well get that check.
Listen, I'm gonna get the check, but listen, let me tell you what. God has a way. He will always redeem the time because he'll always make it'll always be an opportunity for you to, no matter where you are, even on your job.
Yeah.
You can spread the gospel on your job too, even if it's a job that you don't like or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You can still do something, you know,
this,
to uplift the
you
kingdom.
bet. Yeah.
Yes, girl. Yes, that's how we met. Cause yes, girl, you was doing it.
Girl, I
You was doing
super nervous. Like I know that, you know, I'm supposed to be doing something else, you know, and not particularly saying in the church per se, but you know, from the church, you know, and having a godly purpose, you know, in life, in everyday life. So I knew, and I heard clear as day, you need to give. I think what happened was I was sitting up at church and you know how we would have church and folks on the ship. And I would see these people go to the altar and they would actually confess Christ and give their life to Christ. But then they would go back from the altar and sit in their seats. And you know, that's the enemy's playground now. He's like you about to give your life. No.
Like you're not really saved. That didn't really happen.
That's when he compounding on you. And so the Lord has said, now, I said, now what? What did they do, Lord? He said, you gotta start this class. You know, that's the believer class that I had received. You know, so I'm like, okay, I received it, you know, and I can regurgitate. So, you know, I said, but they're not gonna let me do it, right? And I'm saying this in my head. I'm Lord, like, just ask. I'm like, Lord, they not going, you know, going back and forth. And I opened my mouth one time. He was like, yep, where you want to do it? Where you want to be at? How many people?
Yep, they were just waiting for you to come.
Yes, and so many people showed up. It was amazing. Like every day I went in there like, Lord, you got this, because you know, but it was a beautiful thing. I met some wonderful people, you know, Tamara to be exact too. Wonderful people. And I was able to give what God had given me. Whatever worked for me, I was able to give it to the group. And I think that's the way he redeemed the time, because I ain't even supposed to be out here on this water away from my family, you know. But God will, like he said, use everything to glorify.
Yes, absolutely.
Him. And we just have to be willing vessels. We have to receive the word. We have to be teachable, pliable at all times, because you never have arrived. You get what I'm saying? Like here on earth,
you should always remain
always
teachable.
Growing. Yeah,
always growing, always always learning, always growing. And you know what I realized too? That some people's purpose, like when it comes to like finding out your purpose or walking into your purpose, some people's purpose was always right there in plain sight.
Yes, girl.
Girl, like when I figure out that I feel like my purpose has everything to do with me, like helping.
I'm about to say help.
Help me. And that's always, I've always done it, but I never really like put it together. Like, that's my purpose. That's what I'm supposed to do. But that's the thing that I do, that I feel that I get so much fulfillment from. You know what I'm saying? Like I could help. If I could help somebody, I feel good about myself. I feel like I've done something. I feel good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I go to work and I'm like, why am I even here?
Yeah. Like, one thing I've noticed with you when you help, it's not nobody, you don't owe me nothing. You know what I mean? You know, some people like, oh, I'm about to help you, but you better remember me next time, you know? It had never been like that. And that's how you know that somebody is walking in their purpose. Well, they ain't doing it for the money. They ain't doing it for the show.
No.
You know, it's a pure, this is my passion. This is what I love to do.
Yeah, this is what God put on my heart. This is what he made me for. Like, I know once I get out, girl, y'all get ready, because I'm about to do this. It's not gonna be like a homeless shelter. It's not homeless. I'm not calling it a homeless shelter.
What you calling it?
I'm calling it like it's gonna be like a full person rehab. It's gonna be mind, spirit, body,
like a one-stop shop.
One-stop shop. Because if you think about it, if you get somebody that's homeless on the street, right, you got to think about the purpose. Why were they even homeless to begin with?
Right.
How did you come to be in this situation that you're in, right?
And anybody can come to that situation, right?
Anybody at all. Nobody is immune to it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that tells me that there's something spiritually lacking in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe they're not connected to God. They're not connected to their source. They're going to be going through a whole bunch of stuff. So in order for you to fully get somebody ready to be a good citizen. You gotta find out what the issue is, that like the core of the issue, not just the surface. Oh, they're homeless, let's give them a home. Okay, so when you give them a home, what are they going to do? Do they know how to work? Do they know how to keep a job? Do they have mental issues going on? Do they have some chains that need to be broken? Do they there's so many layers to it. And I think the issue is we're not addressing all of the layers when it comes to people that are in need of homes or whatever they're in need
Super
of.
Good, Tamara. That is really, really good, girl. It is.
But yeah, that's gonna be what I'm gonna be working on when I get out.
You can go ahead and try before you get out, because it's a you know what I mean? I think it's more veterans out here homeless because the lifestyle that we live in, not that we live lavish and stuff like that, but we have a more consistent income. And we have a lot more benefits.
We know we got a paycheck coming.
Right. So when you're used to living that way, sometimes you can get lazy and you don't manage and you don't understand that there's a life outside of the military. Or you can miss one paycheck and you're on the street.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And you're crumbled. Yeah.
And it's like, what do you do then? These people are going through a lot of time PTSD, mental
I was just about to say that.
Loneliness, whatever, suicidal, everything. And you see them out on the street, and then nobody wants to help because one, they're crazy. That's what the stigma is. They're crazy. They're dangerous because somehow the military done taught you some kind of jujitsu,
right?
Some kind of fight that so you can't deal with them,
Right.
And it leaves a person who's just need a little help, like you said, could be something mental, could be something as small as show me how to write a resume. Because I've never had to write a resume,
Give me
show me how to balance a checkbook. Yeah. But it's a matter of something simple as that. But walking in your purpose will lead you into a place where you can be like, oh, I know what they need, or tap into they need this. It's more to it.
Absolutely.
So I think
more to it.
Amazing.
Yeah. You know what? I always tell the story about when I lived in Stone Mountain, Georgia. There was a homeless guy named Travis, and my facility is going to be called Travis's Home. But there was a homeless guy named Travis, right? When I tell you this guy, I never seen anybody approach him ever. Like he was one of those guys walking around talking to himself. He would look down on the ground. He wouldn't look up at anybody. He was just gone, right? So one day I pulled up to him. He was always at the gas station. I pulled up to him and I was like, hi, what's your name? And he goes, Travis. And I was like, hey, Travis, I'm Tamara. And I asked him, where are you from? And he said, I'm from Maryland. He said his family's in Maryland. And he ended up in Georgia. Now, I don't know the story of how he got there. But I know his name is Travis. He's from Maryland, but he ended up in Georgia. And I would give him, every time I saw him, I would go to I would drive through the gas station on purpose just so I could see him, just so I could go buy him something to eat. Or because if you gave him money, they wouldn't let him in the store. He was just that dirty and stinky. And, they wouldn't let him in the store or whatever. So I go buy him something. And one day I was driving through the gas station and it was raining, right? And I had this cute little umbrella in my car, girl. And I was like, oh my gosh. There's Travis over there. He was just standing there. It was just raining on him. It was just standing there. He wasn't even underneath the thing to get shelter. He was just standing there. Yeah. So I went over to Travis and I bought him some food or whatever. I gave him the food and he was very appreciative. And I gave him the umbrella. Right? Yeah. Now, here am I thinking, okay, yes, I'm doing something good. I'm giving this homeless man an umbrella. Now, what he gonna do with an umbrella? All these years he's been outside in the elements. What is the umbrella gonna do for him?
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's not what he needed at the time. And I was watching him in my rear view mirror and he was watching me. And when I turned off, when he felt like I couldn't see him anymore, he put the umbrella in a trash can and he just stood there in the rain. And I was like, at first I was like, oh my gosh, why would he do that? It's raining. Yeah. And while I was driving, I thought about it. I was like, that's not what he needs. An umbrella cannot shelter him. He needs so much more than that. But that's what sometimes we only take care of the surface issue or whatever.
Good. Hey, Tamara, that's good, girl. You got me up here.
Girl, but look, how we go from spitting and swallowing to talk about purpose? Hey.
That's what we be talking. You know what I'm saying? We be talking. For real. That was a beautiful story. And it's a beautiful revelation because we don't give them what they need. And sometimes they don't need money. You get what I'm saying?
No, they don't.
You
Yeah.
know, because they don't know what to do with it, or it's not going to help my situation. You know,
Yes.
I see this one guy up here all the time, and today it was just like bad. And he was leaning over. It is super, super hot here in Virginia. Super hot, like 98 and humid. When I say it was hot, this man, he's older. Both his legs was wrapped up with some white gauze, I guess. And you know, he's out there all the time. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, don't fault me. I see him out there all the time. One time I seen him out there on the phone. I'm like, why you got a cell phone and you out here panhandling, you know? So it made me think like, oh, he really don't need it, you know? And I was like, okay, Lord, help me to not pass.
Right, because do you need a cell phone?
Come on now. Look, I said, Lord, help me to not bypass one of your angels. Show me what to do. Tell me what to do, because I don't know why he got the phone. Somebody could have gave him the phone. I don't know, but it's not my place to figure out if he's lying or not. You know, it's my place to follow the leading of the Lord. So today I seen him and I was like, oh my God. And he's in an awkward place. So if you miss him, you can't turn around and get back to him.
Yes.
But he was bent over. He had a cane this time. His legs was wrapped up. He just standing out there in that heat. And he's an older man. So it's like, I know he cannot stand out here in this heat. You know, so what is going on? And he was just slumped over on the little bridge, but just holding up by his cane. And people just riding by. People just riding by. And I was like, Lord, I don't ever want to do that again. You know, I said, if he there when I loop around, you know. So I ended up going to UPS store over there, and it took a little while. When I came back, he was gone. But I'm like, Lord, I feel like I missed an opportunity to be a help, you know, to somebody else. Because I see them all the time now.
Yeah. But the opportunity will come again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That opportunity will come again.
I believe it will. And I just don't think we need to bypass it every single time. Or somebody else gonna help. Or he'll be all right. Why can't we be the one to help? You know?
Right.
So I beat myself up with stuff like that. I used to give my lunch to people, and I used to do that and be like, don't do that. Stop giving your food away.
Do that.
Yeah, one guy told me
they doing drugs. They on drugs. Then
yeah.
This has been a good discussion. We miss you, but we know that she will bring something really valuable to the conversation. But
because where she at? Where did she go?
Right. Listen, healing is here. She went to go see Andrew Womack, and she's on her way. So I know that she's gonna have a lot to say and a lot to give us from what she's gotten from there. So we miss you, Sheikah. We love you.
We miss you, Sheikah Bear.
Yes,
girly.
Comment down below, guys. Tell us what you think about this conversation. Tell us that when you first heard the topic, what were you thinking? Be honest.
Let's see who wrong and who ain't.
Yes. And tell us what you think about spitting and swallowing and your experiences. Okay. So thank you for tuning in. We love you. Bye.
We be talking, oh, we talking.